What's going on, guys? Magnum West here. Welcome back to another video. And today we're going to be taking a look or doing a kind of different video. I'm going to be taking a look at what I believe are some of the most underrated figures in my collection that I have, at least. And it's going to be kind of like a top five. I wouldn't say they're really in any particular order, but it's just going to be five of them. But without further ado, let's get into the video. Okay, and just a quick honorable mention. Just this guy's not going to be a part of the top five, but I did want to bring up the SH Figuarts Full Power Frieza. For some reason, I feel like this guy just because kind of wasn't in a lot of people's collection, or I didn't really see him making the kind of waves that most people, most action figures from SH Figuarts do. Especially the way that the Full Power Goku the matching piece for this guy did. And I think that's kind of attributed to mainly the price. I think the price was kind of the thing that turned a lot of people off. This guy did come in at an $85 price point, and was a premium Bandai exclusive. So not only was he not available for some countries, but also taking into accounting that for some dumb reason, I think it's really stupid. You don't get free shipping. Free ship or shipping with premium Bandai is like $10, and including taxes. It came out. I think my order was a total of like $102. Which, to be honest, like if you don't like Frieza, yeah, I don't think it's worth it. I actually really like this form, and this to me is like the definitive version of Frieza. So I probably won't ever be getting like another Frieza unless like maybe they do a black Frieza, but pretty much any other form of Frieza I'm good on. Um, yeah, I think this is just kind of an underrated figure, just mainly because of the price. But as a figure, it's really good, and I really like the saucer effect that he comes with. The articulation is really good. The overall sculpt is really nice. But yeah, just a quick honorable mention. All right. And I know I said these weren't kind of in any particular order, but in my opinion, I think these, of all the ones I'm going to mention, are probably the most underrated simply because they're relatively new. Like they came out kind of the middle slash end of the year in 2024. And I definitely did not see like pretty much anything on these guys. Like I saw like a lot of like foreign accounts, like accounts that I follow that are like based in Korea or like China or other parts of the world, but I didn't see a lot of like um, photographers that I follow like here in the states. You know, really pose these guys up, and if they did get them, they didn't take pictures and post it. But I didn't see a lot of love for these guys really online. And I really don't understand why not. Like these are probably the best Ninja Turtle figures in my collection, just because of like the raw sculpt of the figures, but also the articulation is great. And I think one of the biggest turnoffs for these figures was probably the scale. They are 1/18 scale, so they're super tiny. But I don't think that like should have kind of killed any kind of joy or really want for the figure, because they're really freaking good, man. They're really posable. They have an amazing sculpt, and just you kind of saw how I posed this guy up, but we'll go into detail. And they're pretty similar in looks, I would say. I don't know why it's not focusing. There you go. But they're really freaking well detailed, man. They have really strong sculpts, like very detailed sculpts. Have a lot of paint, like a lot. There's a lot of dry brushing going on. Um, panel lining type deal, or they got a black wash. Very strong sculpt with the figures. But for some reason, like I said, I didn't see a lot of people online getting these guys. So if you haven't gotten them, I got mine on Bombus B. That's BOMBUSBEE. That's where I got mine. I'm pretty sure you could get them like on AliExpress as well, and they're $35. They're like amazing. I think you get a lot. You get like some really good effects with these guys, extra hands, and I think they're amazing. I only got these two because these are pretty much the only ones that I like from the Turtles. But I think they're great, and especially if you're a TMNT fan, I think they'd make a great addition to your collection. All right, and staying kind of with that lizard slash reptile theme, I got the Marvel Legends lizard from the retro wave, and I think this guy was like a Walmart exclusive, so I think that's maybe why he was a little bit underrated, just because he was kind of hard to get. But like, I really don't see this guy in like a whole lot of top 10 Marvel Legends lists or anything like that, and I think the sculpt is insane and the articulation is like you got pinless joints, you got the U with the diaphragm joint, you got neck movement, you got a head hinge, ball and hinge joint, you have the freaking, you got thigh swivel, calf swivel, ankle tilt, like you got the whole freaking 9 yards with this guy. um but for some reason, like I said, like I don't see a whole lot. Like maybe I'm the one guy that doesn't see a lot of recognition for this, but I personally haven't seen a whole lot of love for this guy. And it's honestly like probably one of my favorite Marvel Legends in my collection. Gonna be like kind of the one of the only ones that I don't sell from my Marvel Legends collection. Um, but yeah, in my opinion, I feel like he's pretty underrated, but really, really freaking amazing figure. And then just to hit it on the head, you're getting all of this for $25. Like you're not, this ain't no maximum series, where you're paying $50. Like you're getting pretty much all the new articulation that you're getting on the maximum series Spider-Man, and you're getting it on a, I think this guy's like 2, 3 years old now. Marvel Legends on a retro card. So, just so you guys have the information, do that with what you will. Okay, now moving on, and we're switching it up a little bit. We got the SH Figuarts Street Fighter line, and I kind of speak for the whole thing, as I think these figures don't get as much recognition as I believe they should be getting. Um, I know that they probably did get a lot of love back in the day when they first came out, but I haven't seen a whole lot of people talking about it recently, and it's kind of a shame because these figures are, in my opinion, at least for 112 scale, I think they're like the definitive versions of these characters. I think the Storm Collectibles line is a little bit too big. Like they don't really look good with any other line. And then, in my opinion, I think the Jada Toys, functionality wise and looks wise, are really good, but they're just not my preferred versions of these characters, right? And the one thing I will say that like may be a reason why they're underrated is kind of the more stylized look. This is a custom head that I got off of a gentleman on Instagram, but the original faces are kind of like anime inspired, and I'll show you guys with the Chun Li here in a sec. But as you can see, they're freaking really well articulated, and this is I believe they called it like the fighting body from SH Figuarts, so you can get like some really freaking crazy fighting type poses, and then have the little belt swaying in the wind. But here, I'll give you guys kind of a close up on the SHF Chun Li head. And as you can see, it's very kind of like anime like, right? It doesn't really look like her appearance in any game. It does look like Chun Li, but it doesn't look like her game model, especially on the newer games. And I do believe that these figures are based off of like Street Fighter 5, and they definitely don't look like their Street Fighter 5 counterparts, which in my opinion, I prefer that. I really don't like the Street Fighter 5 models. I think for some reason they all look like weird dudes, you know what I mean? Like they all have like super bushy eyebrows and like very strong masculine features, and I don't like that. At least for like the women, and especially the women, and some of the guys too. They just look kind of weird. But she can definitely get into like those crazy kicking poses, get like full splits. So you definitely are going to be able to get those really sick Street Fighter type poses. And this isn't the best, but They're also really well balanced. Let me see. Boom. There you go. Very easy. And I definitely think if you don't have these guys, you should definitely go get them. They're definitely a lot better than Jada Toys. I'll just come right out and say that. I think they're like top shelf. Okay, and again, moving on, kind of keeping in line with that import quality type figure. We got the Keep Going Studios White Ghost, and I do have a review up for this guy if you guys wanted to check that out. But I kind of wanted to bring this one up, and this kind of relates to a lot of the third party stuff, especially like um, stuff that's not really Dragon Ball related. I feel like is extremely slept on just because it's not licensed, or I wouldn't say it's not licensed. Like this figure is, I'm pretty sure, like a completely unique figure, uh, and design and everything. So I don't think it's. I'm sure there's inspiration from somewhere. I think it's like supposed to be based on like Orochimaru from Naruto, but I like it. I don't think that's like an issue or anything. But it's just I think third parties are like not extremely popular because people often confuse them with bootlegs. And I'll just clarify right now, the difference between a bootleg and a third party is just really licensing. And third parties are usually like companies that make product that's not licensed, but it's not a bootleg. It's usually not a clone of anything. It's a unique sculpt. It's just not your run of the mill, kind of Marvel Legends or McFarlane or Tamashi or, Mayfix, stuff like that. But I think this figure's great. And like, I think I'm kind of shocked, honestly, that he's still available on 5K Toys. Um, just because I think you get an amazing like package of figures, or sorry, of accessories, and then also just the figure itself. It's like extremely well detailed, has a pretty good amount of paint on where it's supposed to have paint. The cloth goods are like extremely good. I've posed this guy a lot, and like none of the stitching has come loose, none of the clothes is like worn out or anything. Like he still holds poses very well. Like it's kind of crazy, but yeah, if you guys haven't taken a look at that, go check out my review. And then I'm pretty sure he's still available as of March 2nd, 2025. I'm pretty sure he's still available on 5K. So make sure you guys go check that out. Okay, and here coming in at number five, again, is not in any particular, order, but it wouldn't be a video by me if there wasn't at least one Dragon Ball character. And I definitely think of all the Dragon Ball figures, like of all of them, I think that Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta is one of those figures that like for some weird reason is just extremely slept on. And like I mean, even when it came out, like when before I bought this guy, I always do a lot of research on figures before I buy them, for the most part, right? Not all the time, but for the most part, I always do a lot of research, and I definitely did not see a huge amount of presence of this guy on a lot of kind of channels that usually do reviews on Dragon Ball figures. And most of the big ones like Rock Chala or 86 Reviews and Anthony's Customs, a lot of those guys did reviews on them because I'm pretty sure they're just Dragon Ball collectors. But for the most part, I never see this guy on like top 10, or like I don't see a whole lot of people favoring this guy, and I don't know if it's because of the design, but as of right now, March 2nd, 2025, I know we got that Daima Goku coming out. This is the only officially licensed 3.0 Vegeta that we have. None of those other freaking Vegetas that have come out are 3.0. They're like 2.5. They're trash. They're 2.0 still. I haven't freaking bothered. Vegeta is my favorite character in Dragon Ball. Haven't bought a single one of them. This by far is the best Vegeta that we have. And I'll say, like, really the only negative thing that I can say about this figure is the pants. And I'm pretty sure it was in 86 reviews, review of this guy, where he pointed out, like, it looks like he's wearing his legs, like their pants. And you can kind of see that when he's just like in a straight up and down pose. But on a profile, you can't notice it. Even at a slight angle, you really can't notice it. And especially when you pose this guy up, which is like, man, this guy, when I got this guy, I was like extremely impressed. And I know it's gonna sound like a little bit controversial, but in my opinion, I don't know if it's because this guy's smaller or I don't know what it was, because he came out after and they had time to work on it. But I like this guy a lot better than Super Saiyan 4 Goku. And one of the reasons is I think overall, like the joints on mine, like I didn't need to do anything to mine. I didn't need to lubricate them or add, Kiki's fixed joints or, put paper on any of them or nothing. It just right out of the box came perfect, buttery smooth freaking joints and stuff. The paint apps are amazing. I love the face sculpts. That definitely is one thing. The face sculpts on the Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta are like miles better than the Super Saiyan 4 Goku faces. Um, and I don't know what that is. Like, I don't know if they just did, maybe the freaking guy who makes SH Figuarts just likes Vegeta better, but they definitely did this figure justice. And if you don't have it, I think it's gonna be one of those like grail pieces. I don't know. I'm pretty sure he's still available like everywhere on Big Bad Toy Store, Amazon, and stuff. Um, but I'm pretty sure this is gonna be one of those pieces that's like extremely slept on when they first come out, and then once he's gone, like everybody and their mother wants him. Especially because I think Premium Bandai is kind of going in the direction where I think they're eventually gonna make a Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. So before that happens and this guy sells out everywhere and you miss your chance, I would go ahead and get this freaking amazing figure. This is like definitely top three SH Figuarts Dragon Ball figures for me personally. Plus, I prefer Vegeta's Super Saiyan 4 design. So, yeah. All right, guys. But that was pretty much my top five. And again, this is kind of my opinion and what I believe, just based off of things I see on social media, YouTube, and whatnot. But let me know what you guys think. What is your guys' opinion on the top five most underrated figures? And I try to kind of, split it up. We got Joy Toy, SHF, third party, and then a Marvel Legends. So I try to not pick too much. Honestly, I would say Joy Toy is an extremely slept on company, especially their Warhammer line. I don't see a whole lot of people. I know D Amazing really recently got into it, but aside from that, I don't see a whole lot of other YouTube channels doing that, like Anthony's Customs or anything. I would love to see that, by the way. But let me know what you guys think. And as always, thank you so much for watching the video. Make sure to drop a like, share, subscribe, drop a comment. Again, sharing what your top five are, really any questions. Was thinking about doing maybe a top five overrated figures. Let me know what you guys think about that. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Y'all have a good night. Peace.